The Hayley O Show. Every Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Only on bulls.co.za.
Now we've got Ultimate Sports Fan in studio with us. Saved him from all the fans in the foyer. Thanks, Kabelo, for coming in this morning.
Only a pleasure.
And
Only
so
a pleasure.
I call you a sports fan, but my gosh, you wear a lot of hats. You TV presenter, Kwaito star, producer, songwriter, TV presenter.
Yeah.
Hey?
I guess, you know what, yeah, we've only got one life to live, and I think when we get to heaven one day, I want to make sure that I've used every single bit of, you know, strength
and
skill, you know, that God has given me. So I love what I do, and I'm always up for new challenges.
It sounds like it. And I mean, you wear so many hats, but let's focus first on the sportsman in you and the athlete in you. You ran 2 Oceans this weekend, the ultra marathon. Let me just correct. I did the little 21, you know, little jog in the morning. But you were out there for how long?
I did it in 4:34.
4:34. That's 56 kilometers.
Yeah, 56 kilometers. My PB is 4:28, and this time around I was going for 4:20. But as you would know, the wind was wreaking havoc on that day.
Let me tell you, the half marathon runners didn't know anything about the wind. We were long finished before the wind picked up. But I heard that, for the ultra runners, the wind was insane.
It was quite hectic. But I'm glad with I'm very happy with my time. I've taken a week off, and actually today was my first day back in training for Comrades, which is June 2nd. And I'm really excited. I'm going for a silver medal this year. So
to get a silver medal, you have to do the Comrades in how long?
7.5 hours.
And how long is it?
86.9. The up run is 86.9.
And aren't you guys going? Oh, you're going up this year?
Yeah, Durban, Peter, Maritzburg. Yeah.
So 86.9 kilometers.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I was looking online, some sites say you've done the Comrades 3 times.
Yeah.
Some sites say you've done it 7 times. Some sites say you've done it 4 times. How many times have you done the Comrades?
This will be my 7th run.
Your 7th run?
This year.
Okay. Yeah. And is this the first time you're going to go for the silver medal?
The second time.
Second.
Yeah, the last time, 2011, was quite a busy year for me. So training wasn't so great and I was quite tired. But last year I didn't run. And then this year I've kind of organized my life, kind of started to focus on training again.
Okay.
Because something's got to give, unfortunately. When you go for goals, I have to turn gigs down because I'm training on the weekend, so, and that's the kind of sacrifice you got to make.
Yeah.
If you dream big, you got to sacrifice big, you got to be willing to sacrifice.
And I think some people don't realize that.
Yeah.
And then they don't reach the goals that they want, and then they get really disappointed, but you can't do everything, eh?
No, you can't, but you can manage your time, and you also, once you manage your time, you must learn to be content with your decision. Because it's one thing saying I'm going for a silver, but I could be making so much money this weekend, and then you got to just be content with the decision that you make.
Which isn't always easy. Cool. We're chatting to Kabelo in studio this morning. We're going to be talking more about some of the training that he's getting up to before the Comrades Marathon on the 2nd of June. But right now, let's play. Which song are we going to play first, Kabelo?
We can play a track I did with one of the biggest Kwaito stars in the country at the moment. His name is Professor. I did a track with him on my 2011 album. The name of the track is called Amapantsula Jabulile.
Okay, and you can watch the official video on your screens if you're listening via live streaming. Jabulile.
Yebo.
Did I get that right?
Yebo.
Kabelo featuring Professor. We've got Kabelo in studio today. We're talking about his training going up to the Comrades Marathon, which is now only in a month and a bit? April, May? 2 months.
June 2nd, yeah. So what's cool is that's also another reason I feel I didn't get my silver in 2011, because the break between Oceans and Comrades was a month. Now we've got 2 months, so at least
it's better recovery.
I've got about 6 weeks to better recovery, but also 6 weeks to prepare for Comrades, and also maybe take a week or so off before the big one.
Kabelo also just told me, by the way, I have to slip it in there, that I beat Danny Kay in the half marathon.
No way.
Take that.
You're going to get me into trouble.
I did 2 hours 43 seconds to be precise. And Danny, can we say what he did?
I think he did a 2:03.
Yeah.
I love you, boy, if you're listening, man.
All of us trying to break 2 hours. Didn't quite crack it, but I'm sure we'll do it next year. But now these ultra marathons, and of course the Comrades is in a different league. I mean, that is mind strength, right? As well as physical strength.
Yeah, I think the body, with Comrades, the body carries you to 60 Ks.
Okay.
And from then onwards, you got to be chatting to yourself. The mind's got to be telling, the mind's got to be telling the body to go, and the race really starts at 60, and it's mind games from 60 to the finish line.
Sure. And so then for the physical side of things, I mean, what kind of training have you been doing? Let me just tell you that I heard Kabelo did 3 Sweat 1000 classes in a row. Is that rumor, or is that for real?
I did 2, and then the following week I was going to do 3, but I think 3 is, I'm asking for trouble if I do 3.
The last time I saw Kabelo was at Sweat 1000. We had just done like an hour and a half kettlebell class, and then he was doing a Sweat 1000 class. So this is the kind of training that we're talking about here. But maybe you can just talk us through a bit of your training process.
When I first started running, it was all about mileage. Because I guess I was running, and obviously if I'm going to run and you're running an ultra marathon, you got to do the mileage on the road. But I soon realized that all-round body conditioning is very important.
Sure.
So, I mean, towards Comrades, maybe about 3-4 years ago, I'd be averaging about 90 to 100 Ks a week. Just running. But now I'm averaging about 80 Ks a week, but I'm also doing kettlebells and Sweat 1000. Kettlebells purely for the strength and the fitness, and Sweat 1000 for the fitness, because I mean, it's
for cardio.
As you know, it's a hard cardio workout where your heart rate is way up there, which is very important, I believe, for when you're running up those hills. So I've got a kind of a mixed program, which deals with just all-round body conditioning.
And when do you do your running? If you're doing about 80 Ks a week, is that mornings? Is that evenings? Where do you kind of squeeze it in?
I steal time from everywhere, and steal is the operative word, because you've got to, if you got a goal, I mean, we're all working, we're all busy doing stuff, getting ahead. And sometimes you don't have the time, but you got to steal time. And I love this period of the year because it starts getting colder, so you can run at 2 in the afternoon because it's about 20 degrees. Whereas in summer, 2 o'clock in the afternoon is a no-go.
Only the Comrades runners and the Ironman guys enjoy when it starts getting cold. You guys are the only ones that appreciate it. And from a nutritional point of view,
at the moment, I'm like, it's veggies, and protein. Like,
veggies,
that's
and
all
protein.
I'm having. It's just light, all the time, but you're snacking like the whole day. So, I mean, I have countless amounts of vegetables, just to remain light, but to also get some sustenance. But I also got a high protein intake, good protein shake, lots of salmon, lots of tuna, lots of chicken, lots and lots of chicken, steak. So it's all protein and veggies, because I get lighter, and I guess it's different for some athletes. But one thing I also realize is that sports nutrition is also very important, because people, exert, put their kind of work hard, but don't replenish.
You mean during the event?
During the training, always replenish with electrolytes, your whatever it is that you take, and even afterwards, I'm a big glutamine fan. Which helps me recover. That's one very important thing. I think even like call it social runners like yourself and me. The sports nutrition part, always replenish.
There's actually, it's not just about kind of going for a run every day. There's a lot more to think about. I wouldn't call you quite a social runner. I would definitely call myself a social runner, but I think you may have moved up a step or two from that. Chatting to Kabelo in studio here on the Hayley O Show. More after this. You listening to the Hayley O Show this Friday, and we've got Kabelo, Kwaito star Kabelo in studio with us. He's just got back from Cape Town where he did the ultra marathon and is training for Comrades this year and is also doing the 7 Summit Challenge, I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, as if the Comrades isn't enough. Hey? So tell us, how many of the 7 summits have you summited so far, and what's the plan going forward?
We've done 2, Australia, but I wouldn't call it much of a summit because it's the highest in that continent, you got to go do it. I mean, it sits at about,
not that bad?
It sits at about 2,300 meters above sea level, which is about 3 Table Mountains. So it's not so hectic at all. We literally
you fly all the way there
because you got to do it.
Yeah.
To say you did the 7 summits.
Okay.
And it was actually wasn't the cleverest of things because I only joined the team on that one, and they had done Kilimanjaro before me. So the whole mountaineering game, I was like, this is a piece of cake, until we went to Aconcagua in the Andes Mountains. And like I said to you off air, Aconcagua felt like 10 Comrades marathons in 10 days. It's by far the hardest and most dangerous thing I've ever done in my whole entire life.
That's really hard to comprehend because the Comrades in itself, to me, is very unfathomable. Yeah. And you said it was like 10 Comrades in 10 days. Is it just the altitude or what makes it so difficult?
I mean, we were the night before, well, in fact, days before our summit bid, we slept at Kilimanjaro's height.
Okay.
That's where we were sleeping.
Yeah.
So there's no oxygen. Try minus 40 degrees Celsius. Minus 30 degrees.
Awful.
Minus 30 degrees Celsius. Minus 17 in the tent. And I've never done this before in my life. This is like the coldest I've ever been. I remember the one night when we were actually at base camp, 4,300 meters above sea level, and then we went up to 5,000 and we're coming down, and like the snowstorm just came out of nowhere, and I've never been in a snowstorm in my life. And it's every man for himself because everybody has to get down. No one's like holding your hand.
Were you terrified?
Terrified.
Jeez.
And I'm so far away from home, and it was very, very, very scary, but so exhilarating. I mean, after coming back, you're like, I want to do it again.
What? Did you come back with all 10 fingers and all 10 toes?
No, we did. We had the best gear.
Okay.
And we were at the great team. Unfortunately, we didn't summit. The weather was just so bad. I mean, we were in about knee-high snow for about 2 weeks. And the weather was just cold. The wind was hectic. I mean, I got to 6,200 meters above sea level. I'm pretty chuffed with that.
But now tell me, do you have to go back and do that then?
Yeah.
Obviously to complete the challenge.
And think about it. We got to 6,200. And the peak is 6,900. So when we were standing, you can actually see the summit.
Oh, shit.
But if you go, chances are you might die.
Wow. Okay. So now tell me, it's a charity initiative, the 7 Summits Challenge.
Yes.
How does that work, that side of
Well,
it?
you see, 4 of us, 3 of us within the team are actually recovering drug addicts.
Okay.
I mean, I struggled with drugs for very, very long. And I cleaned up in 2002, went to rehab, and fortunately, by God's grace, I haven't relapsed. I mean,
2002, so it's over 10 years.
I'm 11 years clean on the 1st of September this year.
Congrats.
So, the 3 of us are recovering addicts, and the charity we're climbing for is called Mountain Heights. So we basically saying we've come from the gutter depths and we're going to the mountain heights.
Nice.
And it's just also to spread a message of of hope, and saying to people, look where we come from, and look what happens when you clean up. You can achieve success beyond your wildest dreams.
Sure.
And that's the message we're spreading. It is quite a costly affair.
Sure.
Funding is a big
needed.
problem. Yeah, it's needed.
And with the adequate funding, which summit would you do next?
We were keen on doing Russia next. I mean, the big one is obviously Everest. So everything that you do is in preparation
So
for that.
you've done 6,000 feet, and what is Everest?
No, 6,200 meters.
Sorry, 6,200 meters is as far as you got.
Yeah.
And then how high is Everest?
8.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It's almost 3 kilometers more up.
Up.
So when we flew back from Australia, and the pilot announces that we are 29,000 feet.
Sure.
So that's where we kind of fly,
Okay.
coming back home. You realize that that's where Everest is. So when you're sitting in a plane,
You've got to climb that high.
and yeah,
In
that's-
minus 30 degree temperatures.
no, Everest is minus 50.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is a machine we've got here in
Nah,
studio.
not yet. Far from.
That's
far
debatable.
From, far
Talking to Kabelo in studio. Going to play another one of his tracks. Which one is this we've got loaded here?
The track called What You Need, produced by a guy that I featured on the song, very talented young producer, Georgia Vakian.
Okay, coming up, and then after this, we'll chat to Kabelo about what other projects he's got underway. Just a moment. We're chatting to Kabelo all about his training, but obviously that's not the only thing you're up to at the moment. It
Yeah.
takes a bit of time, but what are other projects that are underway at the moment?
I guess, our work at Shout SA keeps us really busy. I mean,
You're one of the founders of
yeah,
Shout SA.
the co-founder of Shout, myself and Danny K. We started the movement in 2010 after the murder of Lucky Dube, who was pretty much one of our own.
Sure.
And we used music to kind of speak out against, social ills, mainly crime.
Awesome.
And over the past 2 years, we've just kind of rallied, troops in the industry, in the corporate world, to raise money to help kind of organizations in the crime fighting space.
Okay.
But at the moment, we're focusing on education because we feel crime is kind of a symptom, but
Absolutely.
one of the causes is lack of education.
Absolutely.
So we had a golf day towards the end of last year, raised quite a bit of money, just over R1 million.
Brilliant.
And
Towards educational causes.
Yeah, so we're actually setting up 5 libraries nationwide in 5 schools this year.
Excellent.
And I'm
That's
pretty
great.
excited about that. Last night, actually, we got an award for the community service award at the Turquoise Harmony Institute.
Oh,
And
great.
I mean, we awarded alongside, Grasa Machel was awarded yesterday. Prof. Jonathan Janssen was awarded yesterday.
That's esteemed company
yeah.
to be recognized
Yeah,
alongside.
the MEC of Education, Barbara Creasy, was awarded yesterday. So we felt quite honored and inspired to carry on doing
Great.
what we're doing. So Shout SA keeps me very busy.
And if people, sorry to interrupt
Yeah.
you, if people want to contribute
Yeah.
towards Shout SA, and obviously with an established charity like this, the funds are going to be, responsibly handled and
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. And I think people like that kind of initiative. And how can people get involved? How can people help you guys?
I guess we, through our chairman, Gavin Koppel, who's Danny's father, in fact, let me rather say this. I mean, you can just email Gavin at shoutsa.com.
Okay.
And that's kind of how we, screen whatever initiative people want to come alongside us and help us.
And start a conversation.
Yeah, and just
see
start a
how you
conversation
guys
and
can
see
work.
where we can go. But yeah, I mean, South Africa and corporate South Africa, the people of South Africa have just been so awesome in terms of supporting the movement. And yesterday, really, the award wasn't mine and Danny's. We just went and collected it on behalf of our fellow South Africans, because it's them that donate the money and it's them that care and believe in the potential that this country has.
Awesome. Well, it's great that you're providing an avenue for them to
Yeah.
help. I think that's what's so important. We're running slightly out of time.
Okay.
We've only got a few more minutes here with Kabelo in studio, but I have to ask you.
Yeah.
I found out that we're both from the same high school. I'm a
Yeah.
Saints girl, and Kabelo's a Saints boy. I need to ask you: do you ever go back to Saints? Have you ever
Yeah.
performed there? Do you watch the rugby matches?
Unfortunately, I haven't. I think 2 years after I matriculated in '95, I went to the rugby festival religiously, and then I kind of started feeling
but old.
Yeah, and out. I was like, okay, I don't want to come. But I've been very fortunate to have been invited by Mr. McLachlan, the ex-headmaster, and Dave Knowles, the current headmaster, to come back and speak to the guys. And it was actually a great experience the few times that I've been there, because, you know, standing in the chapel, I mean, I used to sit in those pews now, speaking to the boys and telling them all the horror stories, and just looking the shock at their in their faces was like was awesome. So I've been back. I've done a bit of work with the school, so my kids are definitely going there.
Yes, me too.
And I love the motto of the school: world-class school, a South African school making a world of a difference. I think that's really awesome.
Cool, cool. Glad to hear that you're still a proud
Go
Saints boy.
Definitely.
Cool. And then just quickly, lastly, just to let your fans know, music-wise, is there anything in the pipeline or anything they can expect?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in studio all the time,
making
music. There is a current album that's out. I'm shooting my third single in about a week. So yeah, I'm still very active in the music business. The music business has been, you know, good to me for 16, 17 years now. Awesome. So it's something that, you know, I'll do for as long as I can. But yeah, also just looking at business interests, because I believe in you would know, the entertainment industry is very volatile. So if one doesn't diversify, you're dead in the water. So yeah, we got to create different. Yeah, I'm on a mission to create different revenue streams from all sorts of things, you know.
Well, it sounds like you're doing pretty well.
Thank God for that, really.
If only they paid you for a silver medal at the Comrades.
Yeah.
That's what you deserve the most credit
Knowing
for.
me, after the silver, I was only going to go for top 100. I know me.
You'll summit Everest one week, and the next week, you know, maybe go for your gold. Hey.
Yeah.
Cool. Kabelo, it's been so great chatting to you. Thanks for giving us some of your time.
Thank you for having me.
And all the best for Comrades.
Thank you.
We'll be watching your progress. If people want to follow your progress on Twitter, just your handle.
Yeah, at Kabelo Mabalane.
Kabelo
Mabalane.
Cool. Well, have a great weekend.
Cool.
What you up to this weekend?
Training.
Training.
It's my first day back today, so tomorrow is a big session. Sunday is a big session. Monday's big. The next 16 days is big.
We'll enjoy our prize. But yeah, lovely to chat to you. All the best.
Cool.
And here is Kabelo, not George Michael, with What You Need. Is that right?
That's true.
Okay, here we go.
The Hayley O Show. Every Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Only on bulls.co.za.